That was the sound of the jar of names. Let's pick out a name. We have one. So this video is for everyone, including but not excluded to Nick Pro. Right then. Where is Nick Pro recently? I think he is around. I think he pops up every so often. Yeah, anyway. This is the Cup of Tea podcast. This is the Cup of Tea. And this right here is the podcast. Right, so if you want to go down to this comments on this video, you should be able to find my skip if it's there. It might not be there yet, though, unfortunately. You can skip to this week's update, this week's topic, this week's TV time, different from what we should be doing, this week's goals, and this week's questions. Not in that order, though, because goals is before questions. After questions. Ugh, words. So hard. Okay, update then. So, what have we got to update on? Well, clearly this is not out on the 31st of October. It's out on... what's the date today? Hopefully, 2nd of November. If it's not, feel free to tell me in the comments below, because that is the goal for today. Oh no, it might actually be the 3rd, because I need to upload a pointing episode, and I need to render that out. We'll talk more about goals, about all that sort of stuff, but hopefully we'll be on track. Cup of Adventure is definitely on track, because that was uploaded on Monday, which is basically... I had to do it by Monday. If I didn't, it was a pointless video, but I did. So that means we are actually on track with it, so it's pretty decent. So as long as I can get the next video out on Friday, because it's a special day on Friday, that's a bit of a hint about what's going to happen this week, what it's going to be about. As long as I can get it out on Friday, we'll keep getting on track, and hopefully we'll be caught up with that one, and hopefully just keep on top of it. That's the goals. But we'll talk about goals later on as well, because there's some about this channel which I need to talk about, because obviously we are behind. Topic then, so let's go on to this week's names. Actually, was it everything? It was everything, yeah. So this week's name. So we've got what you're listening to right now, which is the podcast. It's usually out on a Monday. It's not this week, but it's out within 2 days, maybe 3. So it's quite good. Yes, and then after this we'll have a Assassin's Creed video called Assassin Collections. We basically collect some stuff, hence the name. After that we've got a Bastion video called Hard as Rails, which is a play on the thing as hard as nails. Yes, it's because it's a very hard thing we try to do. And then after that, we've got a Assassin's Creed video called Tales of the Wild. We are in the frontier doing some wild things, and it's story related, as in terms of the things we're doing in the wild. We're not just roaming around the wild, we're doing things in the wild, which has a story to it. Then after that, we've got a Bastion video, and this one's called Job 37:10, which is a Bible reference. So if you want to check that out beforehand, you might get a good hint about what we're doing. I think, anyway. After that, we've got an Assassin's Creed video called Great Beasts, which is something where we are dealing with things called beasts, if you couldn't tell, but they're not just normal beasts, they're great beasts. And then after that one, we've got a pointing episode of Assassin's Creed called Great Peace Hills Pointing, I think is what it's going to be called, as that area. But yeah, that'll be out. Hopefully this one, that pointing episode should be out on the Saturday. If it isn't, then we're not on track yet, but if it is, then we're on track. Right, so hints then. So last week's hint was it was a Halloween special, and it was a type of video that has a name. The inventor of that type of video was called something. I actually forgotten his name. I remember his last name, obviously, because I remember what the thing was. But yeah, it was a Halloween video. It was a special, and it was a montage. So let me just try and find the name of the guy. He was also called something montage. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it now. I feel like I should find it because, you know... Montage creator. Okay, I can't find it. I'll be able to find it if I look on my memory stick from my college stuff, but I can't at the moment because I'm busy. I'm doing this. But yeah, I'll find it out for you if you want me to, and then let you know what goes on in the future then. But obviously I have to unplug my microphone to look at my memory stick, so I can't do that right now. But yeah, I'll double check and let you know if you really want to know in the comments. Okay then, so that was that. This week's hint is, throughout this episode, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 letters spread out in audio form throughout this podcast. If you can find them and rearrange them into the words, you could get a little bit of a hint of what's going on. Plus, there's also a special day coming up, which, is happening on the Friday. I think it's the Friday. I think it's the 11th. Also, there's a remake of a video I've done previously on this channel, but it'll be obviously new for Cup of Adventure. But that's that then. I think we should probably move on swiftly because I feel like we've been talking about for a long time. Okay, so let's go on to the book club then. No. TV time. I was going to do book club, but there's something I really need to discuss with you guys, TV time wise. You remember that Victoria show that was on ITV? It was a drama. And it was basically obviously about Queen Victoria and stuff, and it was really, really good, and it was really, really popular. I'm watching another ITV drama that's sort of like similar to that, I suppose. It's called Tutankhamun, which is basically about Carter, the guy that discovered the tomb of Tutankhamun, and it's just like, it's really, really good. I nearly used an obscene word there because of how good it is. It's so great. Like, I've been watching it, and it got to the end, and it's like, because the war broke out in 1918. Is it right? Oh, no, right, okay, no. It's before 1918 is when episode 2 starts. But in the end of episode 1, it was like when World War One broke out. So they had to, literally at the end, there's a bit of a spoiler, but at the end they had to stop. They obviously all got conscripted into the army. And it's just like the guy that's commissioned Carter to do the digging said, he's been waiting 3,000 years. He can wait a little bit longer. And yeah, it's just great. Obviously, episode 2 is when they're going to go back later in 1918 to go and try and find Tutankhamun's tomb. And it's just like, it was just such a good... the ending, and it was just so compelling, and the whole thing is just great. I love it. It's a great little series. If you get ITV, I would recommend it. Tutankhamun is available for another 16 days, I think. Or failing that, you can use security online, things that aren't very secure and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about Putlocker and stuff like that. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because it was amazing. It's just so great. Also, there's a new thing coming out on Netflix soon called... Oh, that's the point. I've got to watch Luke Cage. There's a new thing coming out soon as well called The Crown, which looks really good as well. It's made by the same people as like... who was it? Okay, I forget. But it's basically like... those old... biopics about... Frost and Nixon was one of them, and I forget the other one. It was a very popular Queen one about a certain Queen. I can't remember which Queen it was, though. And apparently they're really good. And this is like the most expensive Netflix series they've ever done. And it's like, hopefully it's going to be good. It looks really good. So I can't wait to see it. But yeah, that one's out this month as well. Vikings is also back this month. But yeah, let's move on to something else now then. So let's go on to the community. Right, so these are the people that commented on the last week's videos since the last podcast. We have 3 this week. We have Max Ravage, we have Horia, and we have Dragon Lord 55511. Dragon Lord seems to be back now then. He seems to be catching up with a load of videos, so good luck. Hope you enjoy them. Let me know what you think. Okay, but let's go on now to the Q&A. The Q&A indeed. Yes, is that. It is, yeah. Sorry, I'm stalling because I realise I haven't got a question for this week's question, so I'm trying to think of one. Anyway, like I said, the Q&A, then we've got a question this week from 40k Warrior Man, who's technically not on the Mention Monday. This was actually before last podcast, but since I didn't get a chance to answer this in the last one, I thought I'd put it in here since we haven't got any other questions anyway. 40k Warrior Man has his riddle for the week. He says, Mr. Smith has 4 daughters. Each of his daughters has a brother. How many children does Mr. Smith have? Right, you see, this one... I nearly fell for it when I first read it. So Mr. Smith has 4 daughters. Each one of his daughters has a brother. Ooh. Yeah, obviously you're instinctively going to say 4. He's got 8 because he's got 4 sons. So like each one of his daughters, each 4 daughters has a brother. But that's what obviously he's supposed to fall for, I think. But then obviously he doesn't because all 4 of those daughters would have the same brother. So if it has a brother, it will be 5 children. But what if? Because I think that's the answer. That's what I'm going to say for the answer. But what if his daughters, each one of those daughters has a step brother? So it's like where he's not the father. Oh no, because it's not his son. Oh yeah. So the answer's then 5. Yeah, it is. Okay, I was just getting confused because of step brothers and stuff like that. Anyway, that's my answer. So hopefully it's right. Okay, subscribers then. So this week we've gone astonishingly a lot, so I think this is a bug, but we've gone from 1,226 to... No, we haven't. We've gone from 1,219, that's it, to 1,226, which is an increase of 7 names, which is great and fantastic, but I think that's a bug, because that is a lot of people. And we've got one new name on the list, so we welcome to the community Omar Wahadid. Wahadid? That's not right. Omar Wahid. Wahid, yeah. Omar Wahid, that's it. I hope. Sorry if I butchered your name, yeah. But welcome to the community. If you have a favourite historical period, let me know when it is, because that'll be linked to this week's question, which we're going on to now. Although, first off, last week's question was, would you watch the vlogs if I did them and stuff like that? And would you mind if they replaced the podcast? Max Ravage said he would watch my vlogs, yes, with a big smiley face. But he said he doesn't personally mind if they replace the podcast. Which I think that's going to have to happen. You know, like change is the only constant, so I think things have to change just to keep it fresh. I think that's what might happen. Obviously, but I still might come back for a podcast every so often or so. But yes, so right. So this week's question is based on the TV time that we've been talking about with Tutankhamun's tomb and the Victoria one and the crown of the Queen Elizabeth, her crowning years. What time period would you most like to see a TV drama to be set in? What would I personally like? I'm quite interested in the Egyptians at the moment, so it's quite. I feel that's a cop out because I'm watching Tutankhamun, which is obviously basically set in. It's based about the ancient Egypt. It's not set in ancient Egypt. It's set in obviously the early 90s, where he finds the Egyptian tomb. But I feel like it's still classed as that. Plus, I also watched that Gods Among Us. Gods Among Us? No, that's a different thing. I also watched that Gods of Egypt film, which was a bit poop, but you know it had that sort of vibe to it of ancient Egypt. So I think that's the sort of his period I'm excited about at the moment. Plus, there's also the Assassin's Creed games hopefully going to be set in ancient Egypt. So I think that's on my mind at the moment. I think subconsciously it's playing on my mind. So that's what I'd like to see. But I'm really enjoying this Tutankhamun at the moment. So at the moment, I think I'm going to cop out and say I would love to see something like that because it's just amazing. I suppose something else I'd like to see, perhaps. Maybe Renaissance Italy, like a good drama about it. There was that Leonardo on CBBC, the children's show, which is basically the same, set in that sort of time. But I would like to see a proper, nice, like high quality TV drama set on like around Leonardo da Vinci would be fantastic. I like Leonardo, yeah. Let's go with that answer. I feel like this is a good question. I'm really enjoying this, but I'm a big history buff, so I think that's why. Anyway, this week's comment, let's go on to that then, shall we then? So this week's comment goes to a returning winner of this week's comment. It is, of course, Horia, who's got many this week's comments to his names. This one is... I can read this already. There we go. Right. If the kid really goes to the past, this is about my theory on a Bastion where I think I'm going to go back in the past or something. There's going to be something to do with time travel, or I'm going to have the choice or something. He says, if the kid really goes to the past and the narrator starts narrating the story, then will the narrator narrate the narrator's past narration while he is narrating the kid who is listening to the narration of the past and narration of the current time at the same time? And then will we have JD narrating their narrator's narrations of narrators' past narrations? Oh, it was just that last little bit where it's just like, I will be narrating the narrator's narrations of narrations past narrators. Yeah, because it does make sense if you read it, because it's just like, that's my theory. So he just summed it up in like, as in the narration theory, shall we say. But yeah, that's why this is this week's comment, because it's crazy, but it still makes sense. Right, now let's go on to this week's goals. Basically, my whole goal thing about getting planned up, say if we go Wednesday, I want to edit 2 episodes of this next week's Assassin's Creed and Bastion. Should be possible, although I'm probably going to watch Tutankhamun because I need, it's so addictive. There's 3 episodes, so I might not be able to get anything done today. No, I'll just probably stay up a little bit later, to be fair. Yeah. I've got college tomorrow though. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully get those due. So that's all I've got to do. At the moment, I've just got to do a few things. I've got to edit Assassin's Creed podcast, Pointing that you just seen, which I hope won't take too long. That'll be easy to do. I've got to finish this podcast, which will be easy to do. And I've got to edit Assassin's Creed and Bastion. Bastion's easy to do. So 4 things to do tonight, plus one I watch Tutankhamun. I might get it done. But yeah. But then Thursday, I just need to edit 1 episode because I've got to go to bed early because I'm going to York for this trip for college on Friday. And then Friday when I get back, because I've got Saturday off, I can do everything else, which is Assassin's Creed, Bastion episode, and another Assassin's Creed Pointing episode. And then once I've done that, I'm up to date. So look, if you look at that list, that is so close. 3 days. 2 days after this. And I should be caught up. Which hopefully will be fantastic. I'll get excited when I look at that. Because I could nearly be finished. But yeah, that's the goals. So the goals are for next week, be caught up. Because it's going to happen this time. I'm putting my foot down. It's going to happen. Maybe the only problem I'll have is rendering times. Because I have to keep... I've only got like enough room on my hard drive for 2 episodes of a Let's Play at a time. So I have to sort of have one, have that upload while I render the other one. and then once that's rendered, the other one's hopefully uploaded. So then I delete that one and then render the other one, and it's like a conveyor belt that takes forever. So I have to try and work around that. But hopefully Monday, apart from rendering times, Monday should be caught up. Anyway, that's it. I feel like I've been talking for a long time, so I apologise. All right, let's finish this cup of tea. And let's go back to what film for last week. Well, last week's what film was Big Hero 6 for the hairy baby. Cool. Right, but that's it for this week. Then I'm now going to go watch Tutankhamun and then work on some stuff. But yes, so for now I will leave you with what film? Cheer up, Charlie. Just be glad you're you.